Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hope you all doing well. Today we are going to discuss about the rest of the phylums of kingdom Animalia. In our previous lecture we studied about various phylums starting with Porifera up to Annelida. So in this lecture we will try to describe the other phylums of kingdom Animalia, starting with phylum Arthropoda. When we talk about phylum Arthropoda, it's the largest phylum of kingdom Animalia. That means it has the largest number of species among all the phylums of kingdom Animalia. जितने भी kingdom Animalia में phylums आते हैं, phyla आते हैं, उनमें सबसे ज़्यादा organisms phylum Arthropoda में है. And when we talk about the general characteristics of phylum Arthropoda, the most important characteristic feature of phylum Arthropoda is that they have jointed legs. This word arthropoda actually means jointed legs. So they have jointed legs, as you can see here in the picture. These are some insects which come under this very particular phylum. They have jointed legs. Their body is segmented, as you can see here. As you can see here, the body is segmented. They are bilaterally symmetrical. You already know what does that mean, bilaterally symmetrical. They are also triploblastic with a coelomic cavity. That's what we mean by eucoelomates. That means their body is segmented, body is bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and they have a body cavity. That's why they are called as eucoelomates. After that, their circulatory system is open. That means open circulatory system means they lack blood vessels. The blood is not transported in the vessels. They have an open circulatory system. And all the insects come under this very particular group. That's phylum Arthropoda, as you can see here. These are some common insects which come under this group. So this was about phylum Arthropoda. They have jointed legs, body is segmented. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic with an open circulatory system. And most of the insects come under this very particular phylum, or all insects rather come under this phylum. And this is the largest phylum of kingdom Animalia. Now let's talk about phylum Mollusca. It's the second largest group. Second largest group. That means first is phylum Arthropoda and second one is phylum Mollusca. It has the second largest number of species when we talk about kingdom Animalia. The characteristic features are their body is soft. Their body is very soft. And they are mostly marine organisms. That means they are present in marine habitat mostly. And there is little or no segmentation, as you can see here. As you can see here in the example, this is octopus which comes under this group. There is very little segmentation on their body. These are also triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical with a coelomic cavity. Bilaterally symmetrical and with a body cavity, that means they are coelomates or eucoelomates. Their circulatory system is also open. You know that they do not have blood vessels. So that's what we mean by open circulatory system. Now let's talk about another phylum, that's phylum Echinodermata. The most important feature of Echinodermata is they have spiny skin. That means their skin has little spines. As you can see here, this is starfish. There are some small spines on their body. So that's what we mean by spiny skin. All the organisms which come under this phylum Echinodermata, they have spines on their skin. Some have small spines, some have long. So this is the most important characteristic feature of this phylum Echinodermata. Their habitat is also marine. Habitat is marine. Triploblastic. They are triploblastic organisms with a coelomic cavity. And when we talk about their endoskeleton, which is present inside the body, endoskeleton, as compared to the exoskeleton. When we talk about their endoskeleton, it's hard and it's made up of calcium carbonate. Their endoskeleton is made up of calcium carbonate, and it includes starfish or sea urchin like organisms. Now let's talk about another phylum, that's phylum Protochordata. Phylum Protochordata, the organisms which come under this phylum are, they are exclusively marine. That means all the organisms which come under this group are marine. That's what we mean by exclusively marine. And these are worm-like these organisms, worm-like organisms. They are also bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic with a coelomic cavity. Their circulatory system is also open. And here is something new, that's they do not have a proper notochord or a fully developed notochord. Now the question arises, what is this notochord? This is something new actually. Notochord is a rod-like structure. It's a rod-like structure that runs through the back of animals. It runs from the neck up to the tail. So it's a rod-like structure, and it provides a place for the attachment of muscles. When we talk about notochord, this notochord is present in some other organisms which come under phylum Chordata or phylum Vertebrata. That is the last phylum of this kingdom, Animalia. This is the characteristic feature of those organisms which come under that very particular phylum. That's phylum Chordata. When we talk about all these phyla which we studied from phylum Porifera up to the phylum Protochordata, these are collectively called as invertebrates. These are collectively called as invertebrates. These are collectively called as invertebrates, while as those organisms which come under phylum Chordata or phylum Vertebrata, they are called as vertebrates or chordates. Because when we talk about invertebrates, they do not have a notochord. They do not have paired gills. They do not have dorsal nerve cord. We will discuss about these terms, nerve cord or gills. We will discuss about these terms in the coming lecture, inshallah, in which we will discuss about the only remaining phylum, that's phylum Vertebrata or phylum Chordata. So this was all about the invertebrates. Invertebrates include all these phyla except the phylum Vertebrata or phylum Vertebrata or phylum Chordata. So without the organisms which come under group Chordata are called as chordates, while as those organisms which come under the other phyla, that's from phylum Porifera up to the phylum Protochordata, they are collectively called as invertebrates or non-chordates because they do not have a notochord. Now we will discuss about these terms like notochord, nerve cord or gills in our coming lecture, inshallah. So this was all about these invertebrates. This is it for now. Thank you.